What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Zeke, aka Franchise Play, and I'm coming to you with another episode of Ask FP. I'm sorry it did not happen yesterday. Went to nephew Chris's graduation. It was beautiful. Hercules. It was great. So yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into those questions that I have. But before I do that, let's talk a little bit about, well, we know the NBA. I got some NBA Finals questions coming in, so I can kind of get into that a little bit then. But I might as well show you guys. I received this today. It is the Kyrie Irving. Is that upside down? Yeah, it is. Well, it's upside down. Yeah, the Kyrie. Well, you know how it is. It's all messed. I can read it, but you can't. The Kyrie Irving cover kit today. He was announced as the cover athlete. Let's see. It's got a lot of information on the inside of it. It's kind of like a little like an infographic, so to speak. Shows like I don't know if this is like a shot chart or got your little shot chart for against the Warriors during the season, the 2015-16 season. Ankle breakers. So when you look at something like this, guys, and you see how like elaborate this all packaging is and everything, and I got something else to show you. You see how elaborate this packaging is. You got to know, and I mentioned this in the article I wrote not long ago. The decision about who's going to be the cover athlete is made way before most people think it is. Because you got to think about the production that goes into this kind of stuff. I mean, they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot. So they know. I remember I talked to Paul George last year, right before 2K7. Well, it wasn't even really right before. As a matter of fact, it was around this time last year because it was at the NBA Road to the Finals esports event, and he had gotten announced round about this. I guess it was round about this time last year, and he was saying that he had known for months. And he had to keep it under wraps. So this was like June 1st, around that time last year. So he's saying he knew for months. So I think he knew since like January or February. So they're sitting on this information throughout the year, and they're getting this stuff printed up now. And obviously they're hoping the guy doesn't get injured or hoping he doesn't get any kind of trouble that makes it where you don't want him to be on the cover anymore. But that's the way it goes. We also got this, and we're going to talk a little bit about this a little later. This is the influencer card. I'm going to be honest with you. It might say it in here what this is. Well, it's some kind of piece of fabric. I don't know if this is off of Kyrie Irving's gym shoe or headband or sock band. I don't know what it is. Rock band. I don't know what, some kind of band. But we got this My Team card, which has a locker code on it. See, I didn't show it to you that fast. I did it on purpose, like to see, like that real quick. Now y'all freeze frame and trying to see what the locker code is. If you did, shame on you, because I don't think you can see it. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this away to somebody by the end of this show. I'm going to give somebody this locker code, and I have not decided what the criteria will be for giving away this locker code. Hopefully, I'll give it away to somebody who is interested. If you are interested, please put it in the comment section of this video. I can't even put the locker code thing back in the doggone slot, baby. Yeah, put it in the comments, and we'll go ahead and go from there. But now let's get into these questions, baby. Let's talk about these questions. And the first one comes from Michael Rigsby Jr. I always wanted to say that like that. Ray Charles got a song called Eleanor Rigby, and every time I see your name, I want to go Michael Rigsby Jr. So I did it. So there you go. All right. He says, who do you have in the NBA Finals? Well, Mr. Rigsby, I have had the Cavs since the beginning of the season, and I see no reason. Ooh, I'm right. Bars. I've had the Cavs since the beginning of the season, and I see no reason to show some treason. Woo, woo, woo. Somebody get that big bald head old man a deal. He killing it. I got the mic. I got the mic. I'm gonna put it down. But yeah, I don't see any reason to change at this point. Obviously, I see the popular opinion is the Warriors, and it makes perfect sense. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna watch the finals and I'm gonna be like, oh, Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone face if they lose. I wouldn't be shocked, but I know that it's very difficult to compensate for the best player in the world. And you can go man for man, matchup for matchup all you want, but the best players in the world, when you're looking at LeBron and how he affects a game, he goes beyond a one-on-one or a matchup at a position. So I don't know how that works out. Kyrie is Kyrie. He is a dynamic offensive player. If Kevin Love is shooting the three well, Cleveland is super tough to beat. Tristan Thompson's ability to defend smaller players off the dribble is huge. There's a lot of things. The Cavs, the Cavs veteran bench, Kyle Korver, Darren Williams. A lot of that stuff is going to come into play. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm sticking with the Cavs. Sticking with the Cavs, not jumping ship. All right. So the next question comes from Alex, Neo Prankster. He says, should the Nashville Predators win the Stanley Cup, where would they rank among the biggest championship upsets in sports history? Well, I mean, you definitely have to say they'd be high up there. I think, what are they, like the 7th or 8th seed? You know, I think, what are they? I think they finished with 94 points on the season. And I know that there was another team in the Western Conference that was tied with 94 points. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was. So it's up there, but I don't know. Is it a bigger upset than Leicester City last year in the Premier League? I mean, that was just totally insane. I mean, that was a season-long thing, though. You know what I mean? This is barely got in the playoffs, and now you're in the Stanley Cup Finals. And if you win, oh my God, I don't think they will, but I think Pittsburgh is going to handle the business. Took care of business in game one. I think they scored 4 goals on like what was it, like 11 shots or something. So they handled their business. I don't think Nashville is going to win, but if they were, I mean, they would be up there in, you know, the greatest postseason run, or the most surprising postseason runs, you'd have to say. All right, well, let's see what we got for our next question. The next one comes from Michael Rigsby Jr. And he says, do you see Jinder Mahal being a legit champion or used as a placeholder? I think that he is a legit champion. I think the WWE is super serious about pushing Jinder Mahal. They're really trying to reach out and connect to that humongous audience in India. And they want a champion that that demographic can relate to, or who that's the WWE is kind of weird though, because they still like live in the 1980s when it comes to like some of their concepts and the way they think things work from a racial standpoint. And I mean, obviously it's a successful business, so I can't criticize them too much, but I think that they play the race thing too close. You know, like, it's weird the way they do it. It's just kind of freaky. Like, you see black superstars are almost always matched in feuds with other black superstars. They're almost always paired together. Every once in a while, you get a Goldust and Booker T, or Goldust and R-Truth. Goldust seems to be the dude that's safe to put with a black guy. I don't know what's going on with that. You see a little bit of that, but you see Alicia Fox and now Sasha Banks are suddenly in a feud. Like, where did that come from? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. So I don't think that they necessarily have to do that to continue to build that Indian audience. I think keep going to their country and keep doing live events there. And I mean, that's building fans. You know, I don't have a problem with Jinder Mahal being a champion, but I hope that wasn't like the sole reason to make him champion. I think that they are setting him up for a feud with John Cena. John Cena will be able to return, and he'll be able to be America against the anti-American. And John Cena, you know, obviously at the end of the day, the WWE wants the fans to cheer John Cena, unless they've gotten to the point where they're really trying to dupe you and they're just assuming, yeah, oh, you're really, we're gonna finally get into John Cena. We're gonna finally cheer John Cena because we're absolutely not gonna cheer for Jinder Mahal. And then at that point, now is when they finally pull the heel turn for John Cena. I don't know. I'm just talking, but I don't think he's a placeholder. I do think he's legit. All right, the next question comes from Simon Torvey Sunland. He says, do you think the G League will be added to NBA 2K18? Now, Simon, I'm going to tell you right now, I consider myself to be somebody who has above average knowledge of basketball on all levels and all the different organizations. I don't know what in the world the G League is. I don't. And I'm looking at my keyboard and I'm trying to see, did he mean to type D League? And did he just type G League by mistake? Like, I'm looking like, for real, did you do that? And maybe it is a G League. Oh, you talking about the Gatorade League. Okay, I see it, because they changed there you go. Now I'm with you. Now we cooking with gas, because you are talking about the D League, but they changed the name to the Gatorade League. See, I kind of knew you what you was talking about, because you usually are not like off in this in the sky someplace. Like you usually on point. So I'm like, that don't seem like a mistake he really would have made. So G League, I don't know, man. I kind of think it probably will. And the reason why I say that is because every year there's something small that is added to my league and my GM to make it better. Every single year they've done something. That particular team, the fans who love that mode, and I am absolutely included, they can't really have a lot of complaints about how that mode has been brought along. I can understand the people who got problems with my park. I can understand the people who've had some problems with my team because of different instability situations going on. Some people who've had a problem with my career, of course. I can understand that, but I really couldn't understand anybody with a real legit gripe for my league. My GM's a little weird because kind of drags you through some stuff that you probably not even interested in. That's why a lot of people just tend to go for my league instead of doing it my GM, even if they do only want to control one team, because they haven't found a way to make the stuff that's going on around you, like all of the GM duties, they haven't found a way to make that interesting. Now, what I believe, and I haven't ever put this in a wish list, I probably should put it in one moving forward. I would love to see them go my career route with my GM. And what I mean by that is cut scenes and a story, the whole thing like that. I think that would be pretty cool. I know a lot of people in my GM like customization, so they might feel like that's a little too constricting, but some sort of cinema screens I think are needed. Maybe not a story, just some cinema screens. Something, the cutscenes need to be in there to add some of that drama that's missing from my GM. I think that would kind of set it apart from my league and make it somewhat necessary in its own right. Because a lot of people are like just picking my league and be like, I don't feel like putting no price on hot dogs, so I don't want to do my GM. You know what I mean? And the hot dog price don't have nothing to do with what I'm doing. So I think that's what's going down. But yeah, I do think the D League is probably going to be in. I think that's one of the things they could add to my league that isn't there yet. All right, our next question. Well, I'm going to tell you in a second. Let's hold on 1 second. I had to get back to where I needed to be. All right. Our next question comes from Simon Torvey Sunland. He says, what do you think of pitchers throwing at batters and that this seemingly is an accepted practice? Oh, man, I have gone off on a tangent on this more than once, Simon. I think it's ridiculous, especially when it's done because somebody violated an unwritten rule. In baseball, there's certainly certain unwritten rules. Like If you hit a home run, you don't stand and watch it. If you hit a home run, you don't flip your bat. If you hit a home run, you better run around the bases at a good pace, because if you don't, you're showing up the pitcher. If you when you get off, if you're thrown out for the last out, and or if, it doesn't even have to be the last out. If you're thrown out and you're out and you cross the dugout, never cross across the pitcher's mound. That kind of stuff will get you hit by certain people. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. To me, I think people tend to lose their common sense sometimes when it comes to sports, whether you're playing it or being a fan. Since when is it okay for you to try to hurt me in any way, shape, or form? I don't care if you hit me in the back with a baseball. I don't care if you punch me in the face. I don't care what you're doing. Since when is it all right for you to try to hurt me because you didn't like the way I stood and looked at something? Because I did something when we were competing that you made you feel embarrassed. So now you get to physically try to harm me? In any other walk of life, if somebody did that, it would be like, hey man, that is totally unacceptable. You cannot do that. Just because you don't like what that person said, you don't get a chance to hit them. That's not how life works. So why do we accept that in baseball? Because it's an unwritten rule? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. So obviously we're talking about the Bryce Harper situation. I know that was kind of where that probably stemmed from. So Bryce Harper takes Hunter Strickland deep twice during the postseason, and I guess for whatever he doesn't like him, he's throwing at Harper. Okay, Harper gets hit in the back, immediately knows he's throwing at him. He goes to the mound, punches the dude in the face. He doesn't look very good at fighting when he does it, but he does it. He actually took one too before he threw the punch, and then he didn't even throw the glove. I think he thought twice about throwing the helmet, because I think he was going to throw the helmet at the guy first, and I think he thought twice about it, because had he hit that guy with the helmet, this whole story could have been different. Because if he hits that guy with a helmet, somebody could say he assaulted this guy with a weapon, because it depends on how bad this guy gets hurt. You know, the brim of the helmet is sharp and hard. You know, obviously, you know, you punch somebody in the face, it can be dangerous too. But I mean, that's a weapon. You know, you could make the case that that's a weapon. So I don't know, man. That could have gone a whole different direction real fast. And I'm just glad that we didn't end up there. But it could have been bad. So I think that whole throwing at people is crazy, man. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, if I was a professional baseball player and I hit a home run and I posed and somebody hit me with a ball, threw at me, it'd take a lot of praying. It'd take a lot of praying for me not to go out there and put a real serious smash or do my best trying at that guy. I mean, you just can't. I just don't understand that. I don't know. Maybe, you know, some people say, oh, you just don't understand. You're not in the. I know this that unless I try to hurt you, you don't have any business trying to hurt me. It's just that simple. I don't care if we playing basketball, playing baseball, whatever. If I'm not trying to hurt you, don't try to hurt me. It's not any more complicated than that for me. You know, and if I don't care if you say, oh, well, I'm just hitting him in the back, it's not gonna maim him. Don't give me a blister, homie, if I didn't give you a blister. Don't give me nothing, player. All right, the next question comes from Brock Lesnar. He says, who will have the better Money in the Bank match, the men or the women? And also, who you got winning both matches? This is interesting to me because I think that while the women's match may end up being good, I think a lot of people are going to grade it on a curve because it's the first one we've ever seen. You know, we're just now starting to see the WWE book women in these matches that are the more dangerous, the more spot heavy matches. We're just not starting to see that. So anything that they do from a spot standpoint is going to go, oh my God. And I'm not saying it won't be dope, but that's what's going to happen. Right. So I don't really know about that, but I think the men's match is still going to be the best. I don't know if I'm not saying the women's match is not going to be good because there's some good performers in that match, But I still think, I mean, you got Dolph, you got Shinsuke, you got, I mean, come on, man, you got too many people in the ring that are all outstanding. There's performer to performer. There are more high-level performers in the men's match than there are in the women's. So because of that, I would say the men's match is probably going to be best. I'm gonna be honest, I think Dolph's going to win. I don't know why. I think they might try to harken back to that great Dolph cash in, and Dolph's been losing, so it's kind of like you're not expecting him to win. I think he might win. I really think that he might win. The women's match, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna have to look at their faces again. Not that I don't know them, obviously. I know them backwards and forwards, but I mean, you kind of know who definitely is. I mean, you know, Natalia's not going to win. She just in the match. You already know she's not going to win. You know she's not going to win. You know, Tamina is not. Well, maybe now. Wouldn't that be crazy though if they pulled we flipping the whole script and like Tamina wins or Natalya wins? That would be crazy. Obviously, the easy pick is Charlotte or Becky Lynch. That's the easy one. Oh. I'm gonna say Natalya. I'm gonna say Natalya's gonna win. I'm gonna say Natalya's gonna win because they're doing a lot of unexpected stuff, giving a lot of people pushes that nobody's expecting, and that is like a lifetime achievement nod, a fist bump to her, and she deserves it. She absolutely deserves it because she is one of the really good performers that are in the match. Her and Charlotte, to me, are really good. So we'll see. But I'm gonna go on record and say I think that it's going to be Natty. Natty's super sweet too. If you ever meet Natty, you'll see she's very nice, very nice. But like I've mentioned to you guys before, many of the WWE performers are very nice. All right, the next question comes from Brock Lesnar, and he says, does it hurt sports games that have no competition? I remember having so many companies making sports games for the PS2. I don't think it hurts games. I don't. I think that's a thing that people believe, but I really don't think it does, man. I think the developers want to make the best game every year, but I think that there are people above them who give them budgets, give them cutoff times that then ultimately make that impossible. Because if you think about it, why would a developer not want to make a good game? Like, what's in it for them to intentionally try not to make the best game? So that's like a kind of a crazy criticism that people say. But I think it's, especially when you're talking about EA, because I've had an opportunity to deal with them on a pretty close basis, along with 2K. But EA is so big. The company is so big, right? And they have these time frames. They have these deadlines. There could be somebody on their team who is an absolute genius and has ridiculous ideas and concepts. But by the time that person gets their idea all the way up the chain to get something done, it's probably not going to make this year's version, and maybe not next year's either, because the company is so large, and many of the people, and this is pretty much, I'd say this is more in EA than it is with other companies. This is my experience. The decision makers at EA seemed, at least before, I don't know if I'll say this as much now, but before, I would say the decision makers at EA seem to be a little less connected to the everyman gamer than some of the other companies. And I think that that's why sometimes you see a slow process and people think, oh, man's just resting on their laurels and not doing anything. I don't think that's the case at all. One of the things I always said about football is there's only so much you can do with football before you're now. I mean, think about it. You can only play the game from one view. Like basketball, like I play from broadcast view in pretty much every basketball game I play. A lot of people play what we now call the 2K cam with the vertical. But you have options. You can play ISO. You can play all these different. In football, you can't play the game any way but vertical. So that's it. So we already know for the most part, all of the football games are going to have the same views. Unless they come up with something totally innovative, crazy, where you can see down the field in some other kind of bubble or window or something, you can only play the game one way. So that's the first thing. So I think the nature of the game stagnates some of the major changes. I give them credit for finally bringing in this target passing where you're now throwing to a spot instead of a man in Madden 18. But I don't think the stagnation or the lack of competition in football holds Madden back. I think the largeness of EA Sports or EA is what keeps them from doing things as quickly as we might want them to. All right, the next question comes from my main man, the Alert King. He says, what is Feifei? Please let me know. It's all over the internet. I actually saw it last night, man, and it cracked me up. So Donald Trump tweeted something last night, and you know, he essentially mistyped, but he didn't proofread his tweet, which I don't understand why the president is tweeting that freely and nobody is proofreading their tweets. I don't understand how that happens, but it's happening. At any rate, people went crazy, just like Donald Trump is the biggest traffic driver right now in the world. You want to get anything hot, put his name in it. You could be talking about Oreo cookies. You could be like, Donald Trump don't like Oreo cookies. You want that article to take off or that video to take off, put his name in it and it's running, because either people can't stand him or they in the closet liking him and don't want nobody to know because they scared somebody gonna call them racist or whatever. So he's a lightning rod, you know. So when he said that last night, people just went crazy, making up words, saying, oh, what is Feifei? And, you know, making fun of him or whatever. And I got into it a little bit. I tweeted something last night. I think I said the Warriors don't have the Feifei to beat the Cavs. So it all stemmed from an error that Donald Trump made. So it was pretty funny, though, actually. Much better than that not so funny thing that Kathy Griffin did, talking about she beheading a man. I'm like, dude, come on, bro. You lady, you going a little bit far there. I mean, like, I didn't vote for him either, but I ain't trying to cut his head off. I ain't even trying to play like that. That ain't funny. So that wasn't cool, but you know. All right, next question comes from Gabriel Bowmeister, and this came in just before I went on, and I went on ahead and grabbed it. He says, what can we expect from your My League series? Well, you know what, man? I had that one My League going with me and Junior, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. What ended up happening was Junior got on. I had to take him off the game a little bit because needed to get his focus together. So that one got kind of old, and I didn't know if people would still be interested in it. To be honest, me and him kind of lost a little bit of interest. So I've been working on this one myself that I think is pretty dope. I'm gonna show you guys probably the next week or two, next day or two. But I still got some Road to the Show videos I'm gonna publish. I actually have already completed them. I'm gonna publish those. Dante Withenshaw got some Injustice videos. I'm gonna go ahead and throw down for you guys. And I'm gonna do a live stream of Tekken 7 tonight, because that comes out tonight. So if you guys notice, I'm playing a little bit more of some non-sports games. I am a big fighting game fan, so I like those games. So I'm gonna definitely get that out there. But I want to take a look here at what we got here on the comment section. So I want to see who wants this Kyrie. Let's see. We got people saying what's up. I appreciate y'all. DJ Brooks said Kyrie Irving mode. Can't bet against LBJ. That's right. That's right. Warriors and foe, Brandon Perry said. What do we ask? I think the D-League name change was awful. So you can retire as a player and become a GM. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. What's going on, Michael Calhoun? What's going on, Neil Tolliver? Ryan Bates, yes, sir. I am the Forbes guy. I appreciate your support on both ends there. Natalia's going to win, Neil said. K-Max says, do I think that Bray Wyatt will create another Wyatt family? I hope not, because I want him to be able to stand on his own. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, I think that I don't know, man. I really think he should win the Fatal 5-Way, but I know he's not. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Index said he dig the Injustice videos. Appreciate that. Rivals is talking about he got fidget spinners and he gonna jump out the window. Well, don't do that, because that ain't gonna help. That ain't gonna help nothing. That ain't gonna help not a one thing, brother. All right, so who wants this Kyrie Irving locker code? Do we have any My Team players in the building? Who wants this? Let's see. Does somebody actually want this thing? Swag Pro says he wants it. All right. He said he wanted it, and Swag, you know what? I have no problem giving it to Swag Pro, because Swag Pro is a major supporter of me, and I appreciate him very much, as I appreciate all of my people who always support me. And I'm not saying that anyone else here doesn't, but obviously we can't always pick everybody. But I mean, just put it like this, right? This is like the proof in the pudding, right? I just clicked on Swag. I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna bring this up on the screen. And this is an indication of why Swag Pro deserves to get this. I just clicked on Swag Pro Gaming's channel, right? Clicked on his name. Look at this. Liked videos. The video he's watching right now, which is the Ask FP. He also liked the Dante picking up pace road to the show. He also liked the other Dante with and Shaw video. I'm sure if we go back here, I liked another Ask FP. This is man. I cannot tell you, bro, how much I appreciate that, because this is your time. This is your time that you are spending watching my stuff, and you could be doing anything else, and I don't take that for granted at all. And this locker code is not even enough to show my appreciation, but it's all I got to give right now, and it's yours. So I'm going to give this to you. Put your Twitter handle in the comment section if I don't already have it, or send me something on Twitter so that I can shoot it to you on shoot the tweet, shoot it through a DM. I would be happy to share this or give this to you, sir. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you guys. You know that the final starts in about 28 minutes. So I am going to be getting into that. And also that Tekken comes out. So I'm going to be getting that. Now, I got a little bit of a conundrum, though, because Tekken comes out. I think I can get it at 9:01 my time. And the game is not going to be over yet. It's going to be like in the fourth quarter. So, and they doing like a midnight release at GameStop. And so I'm going to be in GameStop holding my phone, looking at the game, at the Warriors Cavs. Hopefully I won't be the only person in there doing that. You never know. Midnight releases, people show up like in cosplay. Is crazy, right? So you never know. But we're going to see. At any rate, I appreciate everybody watching, tuning in. Make sure you shoot me some kind of message, Swag, so that I can get that so I can get the Twitter handle from you. Or did you already do it and I missed it? Let's see. Oh, you are you are Gabriel. I did not know that. I did not know that, sir. Well, you are I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you like this. I'll DM you right now. So I appreciate you guys all the time, every day, all day. As always, God bless. Peace.